Okay, then we will go on with the spread. I have already shuffled the cards. I use some time with the shuffling. I'm guessing all people know how to do that. The importance is that you feel a connection to the cards and you think about the cards and you think about the current or your question or whatever when you are shuffling, and you try to feel the connection, and you after some time you will feel when it's enough, and when to stop and how to do your splitting. Most people have their own ritual, and I have that too. So you just have to find your way. And usually before I start, I keep some water. So I have some water here. Sometimes I also burn salvia or palo santo or something. I always light a candle. So these are my ritual to just to start the focus. And it's not really necessary, but I think it brings on some good energy, and I find it helpful. So, okay, we have shuffled the cards, and then I will lay quite a big spread. I will do the Celtic cross, which I usually do for a big spread to another person. So then I start with the deck like this, and then I go with the first card, and I think, I don't say it out loud, but I think this is her inside or his inside. This is his outside. This is what hinders him. And this is below him. This is above him. This is before him. And this is behind him. And then, like, these are the circumstances you can see reference to in the world. And then you have your inner space, the Aquarian's inner space, and that's what I put on the side. And then I say, this is his or her perspective. This is his or her energy. This is his or her perspective. And this is her fear and hopes. And this is a possible future. And as counts for all the things with tarot cards or other intuitive practices, you have to experiment yourself with what belongs where in your case. So these are the classical ways to think. So I'm just giving the classical ways, but I work a lot more intuitive than just making connections with what I say. So, but let's go on. So I start with opening the cards like this. And here we get the Lovers. And then we get the Star. And then I open this one. So I open these 3 cards always first. And I keep the other ones close. And the reason I do that is because you can get confused with having to put together the whole spread at once. So I do this, and I start, after a while, I do more intuitively with all the cards together. And that's when you get the whole picture and sort of the 3D connection with the current and the world. So here we see on the outside the Lovers, and the Lovers is actually, here we have 3 major arcana cards. So intuitively I will then think that this current is on the right direction, like his or her is following the right path, and that doesn't mean that it feels like everything has come into place. Like, you can have all different experiences, even though we are following your path. So it's got nothing to do with that, but it's an indication that what the current is going through, the current is supposed to be going through. It's like the big messages, like he's touching into the archetypes of the human experience. So the lovers, more often than not, the lovers are connected to actually like love and another person, and it's like there's some connection also with the other person, and the other person has some connection to the current. It doesn't have to be, but as I said, more often than not, it's actually love. It can also be like the passion in work, and it can be both. Like when you find love, you also get connection to your own passions, and it's easier to follow them in your own life. And then on the inside, it's the star. So the star is the creativity, and it's a lot of energy. It's internal energy that just keep on rolling. It's a little bit like you see here. It's like forever spinning wheels. So it means that it doesn't have to lead to anything, but it's got a lot of potential. And when you see the two cards together, I would say that following his or her passion leads to creativity, and the experience of being creative for most human beings is a very pleasant experience. So it leads to a pleasant creativity in his or her own life. So it doesn't mean that something have to happen, but it means that there's a potential for maybe walking towards your own dream. The thing here is that the hindrance is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is, as I experienced it with the cards, when the world is sort of playing your game. So you are the steps you take in the world are easy. Like you feel that you have luck, and it's a supportance. It feels like the world has your back. And here it's a little bit strange, but it's the sense that the world doesn't sort of approve of this. And then I always I ask myself these questions through the readings. So why? Because the world is a guidance, as our feelings also are. It's always trying to tell us something. So what is it trying to tell us here by stopping the creativity and the passion? So here we have the Knight of Swords. And every time I get the court card, this is the court card. That's the knights, the kings, the pages, the queens. Then for direction, because every card can be a situation, inner concept, a way of thinking. So to see the direction here, I put on the Fool. So, another major arcana card. So again, this confirms that this person is probably doing what his or her is supposed to be doing. So I would support the process, but also trying to figure out so why is the hindrance there? And here the King of Swords means that I would say probably that The creativity and the passion maybe is linked to something with words. So especially the creativity, the inner force is linked to words, so it's getting the words out and getting them out fast. Like the Fool is just jumping in and it has a lot of faith. So again, it's a lot of energy. Here you have a lot of energy, here you have a lot of energy. So I'm already thinking maybe the hindrance here is because it's too much energy to keep going in the long run. So the Aquarians here, it needs some kind of balance, needs to stop because it's a lot of energy going out and there's not much stopping here. So we'll see. Then I open these cards. So here we have Temperance, Three of Swords, and the Hanged Man. Okay, so then we see here, here's the balance, Temperance. It means that this person probably knows how to find balance. He has the tools to find balance and has been in balance before all this happened. The good thing is that if you keep balance too long, it will stop the energy going. So you don't want to stay there. You want to, or for things to happen in the real world, you don't want to stay too long in Temperance, but you want to have the abilities to stop. So this means that the person have the ability to stop. And all the energy going on here, because this is also an energy card. Like when you're stopping, you need the energy to go on running. So what I'm thinking here, that the person have maybe been in Temperance in not too much energy for a long time. So that's why when the person opens up, the energy starts flowing quite rapidly. And this can be a quite uncomfortable place to be because there's so much energy and there's no, the balance is completely lost. And I would say that's maybe why the world doesn't play along with every step, because it wouldn't be functional. And now just to move on, I will go to the cards on the inside. So this is what I feel the Aquarians experience on the inside. So it's more mental experiences, the inner path, thoughts, feelings. And here you see that this person maybe want to be some kind of teacher, want to use what experiences he or her has had in the past and give it to others. But there's something here that doesn't bring this out. And I think this is linked to the whole spread. Like there's up and down, but not so much going out really to be built upon, to be this person is not walking up a stair. It's more giving out a lot of energy and then going back and trying to save energy again, maybe then going out. And the up and down gives the perspective that the cup is not really full. It's the perspective of the half full cup, that's something missing. Probably been hurt in the past. There's a sorrow there that's underneath a lot of things, and also underneath of really going out. And this seems to be very important because it's the Three of Swords here. This is usually linked to a broken heart from love. So I would think that here it's the potential in the lovers that is the person is experiencing now. There's the potential for healing past sorrow. And it's a rocky road, but the person needs to understand that to open more up, that to see that the cup is not really half full. It's full. It's full, and it's enjoyable. You don't have to protect yourself. You can just use the tools you have to find balance and start working in a slower way. And that means like using all the tools from the temperance to keep like going on a slower pace in this phase. So you don't have a lot of energy going out and then the sorrow on the inside, because this is a very usual process. Like if you don't have enough energy, it's very easy to feel more to burn out, to feel sorrow, to feel that life is not enough, and also to have the fall, to have get the madness. And then I think here it's a danger, because this passion, this creativity has potential, and this is alive at the moment. But then the current is thinking that the cup is half full, and this perspective will influence this situation. So it's important for the current to work with his or her perspective, not to fall into those thoughts, and to remind him or herself that what is happening is good, and to try to keep balance when there's a lot of energy flowing. So I think that's at least. I will end now because I've been talking a lot, but this is just to show you a way to do it and a way of thinking. I could use at least 2 hours on this spread. So I used a lot of time to find connection and making sense of everything, and it's endless. But if you want to do it, you just have to start and finding out what the cards mean. And you can start by this spread, and you don't have to go into that many details as I've been going into now. But maybe you can use some of it, and you can work on that, and then you can go further. Okay, that's what I had today. So it's a taste, and good luck with your own practice.